Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of Starlight Beacon. It's your boy Coop here, back with another
What's
episode. And
what's
joining me, I
happening?
got JBM and P Rich. How y'all doing? Oh, P Rich, I think your mic is muted, sir.
Yeah, you muted,
Yeah,
buddy.
I know I'm muted. I'm still trying to get my headset on. It's being all
Okay,
weird, but give me a moment. But
no
I'm doing pretty
problem,
good.
no problem. Oh, my camera's acting strange. We got all type of technical difficulties going right now.
It's hey man, it's hump day. It's midday.
Must be. Got
That's what
interference.
happened.
Empire, man. Empire's out there interfering with our transmissions.
Yeah, man. Since this was a Starlight Beacon episode, I tried to go with some Sith color here, get some red tones in my lights, but
Uh-oh.
these,
Hold on
these
one second. Oh, continue.
yeah, these are not showing up how I'd expect them to. I see that, y'all like that? Little red tone here. Ooh. P. Rich, you got a new cut?
I had a new cut, but my headset's not connecting
I'm not
anymore.
sure what that is.
It's being weird. We're all jacked up today.
Yeah, we all messed up. Like, dang, man.
Yo, get it together. Get it
For real.
together.
We trying to
We
pull it
live,
together, man. We trying to
Charlamagne,
get
we
this show
live.
going on the road on a Wednesday. It was like, hey, man, listen, y'all don't do these Wednesday things. Like, I don't know what y'all got going on today. But yeah, so we missed the Sunday stream. I was out, had some personal things. So I was unavailable. So we're gonna make up the Sunday stream today. And then we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming next Sunday with another episode. But I kind of wanted to, since we had the news of KOTOR and I did finish the High Republic comic book series, I wanted to comment on that and talk about that a little bit. So I don't know if y'all had a chance to read that yet or not.
I've read the High Republic, Light of the Jedi, completed it. It's pretty good. I like where it ended. I think I'm going to enjoy where they're going to take it.
I have the same feeling. I think it had some. Well, I don't. I kind of was expecting it to be what it was. I know that there's been some mixed feelings about the novel.
What are those like?
I think a lot of people were
the way it was written.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were anticipating the pace of the story.
It was a fast-paced story.
Yeah, and then I heard some people talking about like how that we don't have a true main character, and you don't, not really necessarily in the Light of the Jedi, but I thought that was like an intentional thing. I think that the purpose is to show the unity between the Republic and the Jedi, and like there's no individualistic hero within the story. I think they're just trying to show like it's a very cooperative time and a little different from what we experienced in the prequels. Not even a lot different from what was how the Jedi and the Republic operated in the prequel era in the next 200 years. So it'll be interesting to see how all of this kind of sort of changes. I am certainly looking forward to each of these books. I have not finished A Test of Courage yet, but I did do the comic book series, which I thoroughly enjoyed, or at least the first issue. Anyway, Keeve Trennis is my favorite character now of as far as all of the books and stories go. I'm very much interested in her story and where she goes. She's a very different Jedi Knight, or Jedi, I'll just say, than what we're accustomed to. She swears a lot, which is interesting. So like, and it's like Star Wars, like cuss words. It's not really things that we would consider a swear word, but like she does use a lot of language that's considered foul. in the Star Wars universe, which is an interesting thing. And like, it's not really like I would say her master kind of discourages her from using the languages, but it kind of just slips out. She kind of just lets it fly, and that's what I like about it because she's like she's very reactionary. Um,
Yeah.
and her master is the Trandoshan guy. I can't remember his name right now. It escapes me, but this issue takes place, like I would say, within the last 10 minutes of the Light of the Jedi and extends through the end of the book. So has everybody on the in the room is finished reading Light of the Jedi, correct?
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
I'm like
Are you
almost
on it?
there. I'm still on it. I just the denial of fighting the Jedi, and the eye has given them like coordinates to hyper jump in and out of, just causing complete chaos and destruction and things like that. So I just haven't I haven't
Real
really.
quick shout out to people in the comments right now. Second Street Marvel, what up? Callisto, hey. Yeah, we missed last week, but glad you're here right now.
Yeah, we got Second Street,
Everyday Geeks, what's
Everyday
up?
Geeks, everybody is out here, man. Thank
Man,
you.
Coop.
This is
And
very
then
live.
when you were just explaining that character, Coop, I'm over here dying. My eyes are watering from the onions being cooked in the kitchen. I'm like over here trying to keep it together. I think I'm just now getting acclimated. Whew.
Yeah.
It's like an eye hill over there in the kitchen.
Hey,
Hey,
listen,
gas, man.
I'm on chapter 40 right now.
okay, so you got like
through.
4 more chapters left in before you're near the end. So honestly, the High Republic comic book, the first issue takes place, I think, around chapter 40. Honestly,
It says I only have 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think it's like 40. I think it's like 42, 43 something chapters.
It's like 46 chapters, something like that.
There's 44 chapters. There's 44 chapters in 44 chapters.
Epilogue, right?
Yeah, epilogue.
Yeah. So that's kind of sort of where all of these novels take place. Like I said, within the same time period, same time frame, just at different points. I would say of Light of the Jedi. So if you don't want to be spoiled at all by anything, and this to the viewers, everybody watching, read Light of the Jedi first. Like finish watching or finish listening or reading that book, and then get into the other stuff because there are some minor spoilers. You will, for the characters that there's some things that happen in the Light of the Jedi where the fate of certain characters may not be decided until the end of the book. You will be spoiled by that because of how like all of it lines up. So like the High Republic stuff, like I said, it takes place in the last few chapters and ends where the Light of the Jedi ends. So it's a story that runs concurrent to Light of the Jedi, but does not necessarily tie directly into it until the final chapters on Starlight Beacon or the final panels. So that's what I would say. And same thing with Test of Courage. The Test of Courage takes place like right at the beginning of the Great Disaster.
Okay.
But it's in a different planet. So like same thing, same event. You see some of the things and hear about some of the things happening from a Light of the Jedi. Like you get a new perspective of those events from Light of the Jedi, but from another system, from people
from another
who weren't
order
actively there. Yeah, from other members of the Jedi that weren't actively at the first disaster site, but were also helping other areas of the galaxy combat these issues. And then you also get the Nile. Like the Nile are a consistent threat in all of these books and novels and comics, and of course the disaster is the overarching theme.
Now, what exactly is the Nile? Are they one species, or is it just a crew of different species?
A crew of different people.
Yeah, they're pirates. Yeah, they're pirates and marauders. So like it's just they kind of sort of all meshed together. They're all from the outer rim, different alien species, human species, like all mixed in. Like there's some Twi'leks and some species that we're familiar with, as well as some that we may not be. They're I think that how they set up the Nile is interesting. I don't know. I can't say. I won't get into spoiler shit. Once P. Rich finishes, I guess what you should be finished by what, Sunday?
Oh yeah,
Go ahead, finish it right now while we're doing this, and then give us the thoughts.
Because I'm saying because we do need to have a spoiler discussion. I said we were going to do it at the end of the month, so I think that Sunday we can have a spoiler discussion about Light of the Jedi, because I would like to do that with you guys and like really get into it, because I think we gave our initial thoughts in one episode, and then we kind of went through, kept reading, and went at our own pace. But I think we should be finished by the end. So I'm definitely looking forward to talking spoilers with you, and I think everybody in the comments is definitely looking forward to a spoiler discussion, and we will certainly mark it as such.
Yeah, I got a question about the Jedi in this one.
Okay.
In the beginning of the book, with the disaster happening, the Jedi that were there, were they part of a particular order? And are there like different orders under the Jedi banner?
No. So they operate. So the order at this time is just larger than what it was in the prequels. Like,
who was the main Jedi woman? Who like she was like peeing all these Jedi. Avar. Yeah. They said something. She kept referring to the other Jedi as like her order or something similar to that effect. So I was like, okay, are these like different sets under the Jedi banner that are like running different orders, or are they just all in the same
No. So they're all in the same order. So what happens? They've got a lot of outposts and temples all throughout the galaxy that certain, once you graduate, everyone goes to Coruscant, basically. You start there at Coruscant on the big temple, and then you go to another outpost or another temple on another world, and that's kind of sort of where you're stationed. And so a lot of the Jedi are also going to be stationed on Starlight. So they're going to be, moving from whatever temple or outpost that they are currently stationed and going to Starlight Beacon, and then another group will come in. So like there are the Jedi who are stationed on Coruscant. There are the Jedi that are stationed on, I think they're probably Jeddah is another location. So like everywhere that they have temples, and there are Jedi station, and like they've got outposts in small like enclaves on planets where they operate kind of like a sheriff office. Like the locals can come and, if they need some help, they can come to the Jedi, and then there's usually like, a couple people stationed, a couple Jedi, a master, or a couple masters and their apprentice stationed at this outpost, and that's where you basically will have your training. And especially if you're a Padawan, you'll be there, and that's where you will live until you are knighted, and you have the option to go wherever you please. Which is also, I think, a cool way that they could set up, an MMO type of game set in this time period. Because you got Starlight Beacon, but you also got these other outposts that we can explore where there are other Jedi stationed.
Yeah, man. The High Republic era would be a great setting for this new Star Wars project.
Game
project.
Yeah, and I was thinking, I said that it should be set up like not like traditional MMO, but like sort of in the vein of Destiny and like the Division, where it's instance based. Like you got all these. It's multiplayer, but it's not like your traditional MMO where you got this like large server where like it's thousands of people on at the same time. Like it'd be cool to have Starlight Beacon operate as like the tower on Destiny, where like that's your main hub. You go there, you get upgrades and equipment and new ships and you can customize your like lightsaber and whatever, you know, and that's like the social area. And then like your missions on different planets in the Outer Rim where there are outposts and other temples that you can explore. And I think that that would be a cool like way to do it, but they need to go with like a developer that is like that can do like lore heavy content and you know
I mean, the developers of
Bethesda.
Destiny did lore heavy.
Yeah,
Bethesda did
Bungie.
lore
Yeah,
heavy.
Bungie is a lore heavy company. Bethesda, because they do Elder Scrolls, so they can get really, really lore heavy. If you've ever played Elder Scrolls, you know you've got hours of content packed into those games. The Witcher, I forget the studio. Is that
Witcher
CD
is
Project.
a CD
Red.
Projekt Red, right? Okay.
CDK. Or yeah, CDK. Project Red. Yeah.
Yeah, so they, you know, that's another good studio to go because like if you're gonna do an MMO like open world type of game, like it needs to be lore heavy, like especially with multiplayer. Like I said on the last stream, I think I said like it needs to have at least 150 to 200 hours of gameplay, like at launch, like because you want to go on an adventure, like you want this to be something that you're going to like
Game.
sink your teeth into. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
um.
It would be cool if it was fluid the way Destiny was fluid.
And I think that that's why they should go in that route versus a traditional MMO because it's instance based, so you don't have as many people in a particular area as you would with an MMO, and it makes it easier for console and PC gamers to interface, which I think is just a smart route to go because you can make it cross-platform, you can make and make it still, you know, something that a console player would be interested in playing. Because I think Elder Scrolls Online is cool, but it's not a traditional console game. Like console players they're a particular type of gamer. So if you want the PC gamer and the console player to play together, you got to find that middle ground. And I feel like, you know, games like The Division and Destiny kind of balance that MMO RPG feel of a PC game with the combat and just, you know, interface that, you know, console players are accustomed to and they kind of want in that experience. Like it's a good blend of like your first person shooter that on a console and your RPG MMO game on a PC. I think those games have that happy medium that you would want to in a cross-platform environment.
Yeah, man. I mean, as long as they get the story right in
Story
the
is
game.
the main thing. Absolutely.
Like in Destiny, the lore was all there, but like
The story was gone
how
all over
the
the place.
campaign was developed, it was just like, what is this? It felt
Yeah,
like it was
especially that first
short,
Destiny.
it wasn't fully fleshed out, and
Yeah.
I found out like during development they had some things happen during production that, and you know, it showed in the game.
Yeah, I thought the first one was better than the second one at launch.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Like the second one seemed to backtrack because first the plan was never to make a sequel to Destiny, but I think they wanted Destiny 1 to just continue to grow and expand. Like they wanted Destiny 1 to be like an MMO where they just continue to add expansion packs and you know release updates for content and go that route, which would have been ideal because I really like Destiny 1 and I like the story in Destiny 1 and the just the story that they set up for it. More so than the second one at launch. But I think the Divisions had the same issues as well. I think the story in the first game was great. And I think both of those games suffered from the cap of the current gen consoles. Like I think they would have been better off. I think they would have made the game that they wanted to make had they come out on the PS5 and Xbox Series X in this next gen.
Also in Division 2, a lot of that story is segmented off into side missions and all the small details.
Yeah.
So a player is going to really have to slow it down and pay attention to really absorb the full story. And that, a lot of players, they just like to, we just go through the game. We just eat the primary missions up and let that tell our story. So I think Destiny 2 kind of, it was hurt from people just, not really paying attention to the details.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point.
And also falls down to like that multiplayer too. They have that dark zone and Division 2, Division 1, where people just play dark zone all the time. Play dark zone. They don't even do they don't even do the story or go outside. Or same thing with Destiny. They play that player versus player. They don't even do the main storyline or raids. They just play multiplayer. It's kind of like Call of Duty in a sense, where they'll buy the $60 game, don't even play the campaign, and just play multiplayer.
Yeah.
The weird thing with Division though is like, I really feel Division shines. I think we mentioned this before when you are playing multiplayer on Division. Like, it feels like a different game when you're doing single player mode. Like it really does feel like a different game, and you get a different appreciation for it. But when I was playing it, I also felt lonely. I was like, man, I need some people on right now. I cannot play this game. I'm just like, everything's desolate.
It's a cooperative experience.
Yeah.
The story is more so like Destiny has that, like the campaign feels like a solo campaign that you've got the option to play with other people, but I don't think the single player campaign is necessarily catered towards cooperative play. I think it's just an option that's available, and I think that's the
route the Star Wars project should take.
Yeah, I think it should have both. I think there should be something for everybody. Like you said, there's the multiplayer aspect and the dark zone. Like there's these different aspects to the game that are catered towards different types of players. Like there are people who just really are only interested in PvP, and the Division gave you the dark zone as that's a lived-in experience. Like you can solo in the dark zone if you want to. You can team up with people.
You want to risk it all.
And it gave you that option. I think that was cool. Like I think something, on a larger scale could work for this type of project, for a Star Wars project. Because here's the thing about Star Wars gamers. Like I think it's not, I want to say Bungie, EA, BioWare, right? They made no, it wasn't BioWare. Who made Battlefront 2?
EA.
No, the sub. Who did they contract it out to? Motive, right? It was Motive.
Was it?
EA Motive. Yeah. I think the game came out on Epic Games website, I think this week, and like 19 million people downloaded it, like bought it and downloaded it off of Epic's site. Because they tweeted about it. And it's like, yo, Battlefront 2. Like Star Wars gamers are different. Like if they like a property, like they're going to just play it over and over and over and over and over again. So like it's not like necessarily like a 2K or NBA Live or Call of Duty where people are looking for the sequel to that game. Like if you give them content in a consistent amount of updates, they'll play that one game for years. And I think that they should keep that in mind when they're developing this KOTOR game, like, because this is what the news is that broke. Like there is a KOTOR reboot in development at a studio that they have yet to announce.
So this new game, they should call it Knights of the High Republic.
It could be like, that's what it's like. It's set during the Old Republic, but this is technically, the High Republic is technically the Old Republic. It's just the end of the Old Republic, if you will. And then like the modern Republic is of course the prequels. And then but I think this game is one, it's going to set the events of the original KOTOR game in canon, but it's going to be set in this current timeline. So like it won't be 3,000 years prior to A New Hope. It'll probably, I mean, not, yeah, A New Hope. It'll probably be within a couple hundred years of the High Republic. I think I think they make mention of when the Sith Wars takes place, which I believe is what they're going for with this Old Republic game, because they mention it in Light of the Jedi. Like it is mentioned that the Sith Wars happened. It was a couple hundred years prior to the book. So it's more recent than what the game than the original game takes place. Which I think is good. Like they don't need to have like these extended timelines, because the technology, if they don't like, if they're not going to reverse engineer the technology so that it makes sense, like, because I remember in KOTOR, although it was like 3,000 or 4,000 years prior to Phantom Menace, like they had technology that it was still in the Phantom Menace. You know what I'm saying? Like they had holograms and like and like speeder bikes and space and hyperspace travel wasn't different. Like nothing really technologically was different. Like the ships and like planets looked a little different, but like technology is pretty much on par with what we always seen with Star Wars. And it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of strange. Like they hit their peak and they just been coasting ever since. A lot of people make comments
like I never really thought of technological advances between the settings in these games and movies. I just always took it with a grain of salt. Like we're in the future, so all this works.
Yeah, it's right. But then when you're in the future, but you go back in the past of the future, and the technology is still like consistent with what is originally.
Yeah.
It kind of like it throws some people off. It doesn't bother me that much. Like I'm like, it's Star Wars fantasy. I don't really care. Like
yeah, the difference is the holograms are HD and 4K.
Right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, maybe the range is a little less. I don't care. I don't need that level of.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Well, we definitely know hyperspaces.
Yeah, we have people living in space. What?
Yeah,
what else do you need?
I think one of my things was that
difference.
One of my bigger peeves of that, it was that the exploration of the galaxy, like most of the galaxy had already been explored even during the Old Republic. You know what I'm saying? Like they had already pretty much, I mean, you were out in the Outer Rim, like there wasn't any part of the galaxy that was unknown all the way back then. And I would kind of like it if this, maybe the mid-rim isn't explored during this time period.Maybe like the Republic is now starting to grow out into the mid-rim, like in the seat of the Republic, because Coruscant is in the deep core, was in the core of the galaxy. So the Jedi and Sith fight constant wars over this planet. The Sith have control over it for a certain time period, and then the Republic and the Jedi recapture Coruscant. So like this is something, and this isn't canon, so it's been mentioned but not really explored within the new canon timeline. So it's like
there's possibilities.
There's possibilities, and I think with the High Republic, having the vast majority of the Outer Rim being unexplored and just unknown territory, I think the same thing will happen with like the Mid Rim during the Old Republic. I think the Mid Rim will be the expansion region, because I think the Republic should be a whole lot smaller. There's fewer planets. Coruscant should be well underdeveloped. It should not be the sprawling cityscape that we're accustomed to seeing.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe fewer levels, because Coruscant is like a layered city, right?
Yeah.
It's top to bottom. So
yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Maybe it's not as high in the sky.
Yeah, that would totally be fine with me.
Would y'all like to see the Outer Rim handled like the Dark Zone in the Division? If
you can make it out that far, like, yeah, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, just treat the Outer Rim like the Dark Zone.
Yeah, it's wild space.
I think they should have that mechanic of No Man's Sky, where you can, like I was talking about, how that No Man's Sky travel system where you can just go days in the space about just hitting. You to like blast asteroids and gather fuel and all this other jazz. And I really love that No Man's Sky, like just kind of exploration where you can like you're feeling the atmosphere coming into a different planet and things like that. So I think they should adapt something like that.
That would be something
Yeah, I think
they could implement in
I
next
think
gen with the controllers. If you're feeling the atmosphere, flying a ship, even like, yeah, that's a whole.
I hope people utilize that PlayStation 5 controller technology because like that is that to me that was more groundbreaking than any of the technological upgrades that they talked about with the consoles. Like I think that for me that was kind of expected. Like yeah, graphics going to improve, 4K is going to be a standard. Like all I just felt like all of that was going to be like it just
But the
it's like a
technology
no-brainer.
behind that though
Them changing the controller and how you interact and interface with your controller, like I thought that was like a cool advance with how they've designed the new controller. Like I thought that was great. I thought Microsoft should have done something similar, but they didn't. So that's a positive for me on the Sony side.
I think Microsoft is coming out with something. They did like a little poll and asked if they were to come out with like a controller like that, would people buy it?
God.
Yeah.
Microsoft.
They should have thought about that.
Always falling behind. Come on, man.
They should not have. That
why they gonna take a poll like they're not gonna try to do it?
They should just make.
They could have tried to do it.
Controller. Like just make a controller. Like
don't poll. Should we do this? Yeah, man, get out of here. You gonna do it?
Like, go make the controller, man. Like that's just crazy.
I mean, if they can make
thing. We're at our just over our half hour mark, so we got to mention our sponsors. We got kombucha, Health Aid kombucha, brought to you by the Pink Lady Apple.
The Pink Lady Apple. This is great because I've still yet to receive any of these endorsements, but maybe they'll get here eventually.
I really think that like with that controller technology, if they make a future Star Wars game that we could actually feel the lightsaber hum through the controller, that would be like as soon as you turn it on, you feel the zoom, and it constantly has the zzz, and it's constantly vibration in your hand, thing like that. That'd be really cool.
You swing it, the vibration will scatter across the controller.
Anything that makes the gaming experience more immersive is like they should definitely strive for that. I like that idea. I thought they should have utilized that more with the current gen controllers because I mean there's a speaker on the PlayStation 4 controller. They could have had like all types of sound effects come out of the controller. I think some games do, but like the majority of them don't utilize technology because Microsoft doesn't have that either. Like they fell behind on the controller side of the current gen platform because I think that the DualShock for the PlayStation 4 is a better controller than the Xbox controller.
Oh, for sure. Even with the lights alone on the PlayStation, like if you play different video games, turn different colors.
It's more immersive.
GTA, you got the flashing, red and blue lights. Everything is amazing.
Yeah, but see, when you got these AAA platformers like that make cross-platform games, like they can't, make a exception for Sony because now you're taking time away from the team developing a video game just to work on something that's going to be more interactive for the PlayStation controller. And it's like if Microsoft would just make a more interactive controller, that way developers can incorporate this more into their stories. Then it just makes the overall experience for gamers better. Also, on another note, since you brought up I almost said City Skylines, but
Coruscant, Layered City.
No. What's the game? No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky. Have you heard Star Citizen?
Yeah.
Check that game out because that I don't know. Maybe it's possible that could happen, but this game has been in development for like years, but
10 years, right? Something like that.
Close to 10 years, yeah. And you can play it now. It's not finished, but you can definitely play it. They've got a lot of stuff that they've incorporated into the game
What's that on
But
PC?
yeah, it's not that'll never touch a console. It's not one of those games.
No,
Like,
bet.
yeah, I mean, it's, they built a physics engine for it, like it's built from the ground up for PC and for like an immersive flight simulator out in space. And similarly to how the No Man's Sky has like these was it the continuously generated planets, that it's just taking like a number of, you know, assets for like animals and plants and, you know, um different type of topographic maps for a planet, and just randomizing it so that you get a different uh, planet, you know, anytime you go out and explore that universe. The Star Citizen takes it to another level because each of the planets that they're making by hand. So every world that you go to is you know, something that the developers have created themselves. It's not randomly generated, and it's like just as big as No Man's Sky. So like it's a wildly ambitious game, but like given the Star Wars universe, like doing something like that where every planet, named planet that we have in the Star Wars universe, you know, be created by hand and be fully explorable to scale, 1-to-1 scale, and just give us an open sandbox, like, you know, experience. I would love to have a game like that. Like, I don't care what platform it's on. I mean, that's a PC exclusive pretty much, but like, who knows what the next gen consoles could do. But like, that would be something I would definitely want to play and experience. Like, it's basically Star Wars Galaxies 2.0, you know, where like you've got, yeah, like you've got the freedom to explore and create your own destiny really within this Star Wars universe. Like, that was the whole point of Star Wars Galaxies. Like, you're here in this galaxy far, far away. All the adventures that you know and love from Star Wars are happening, but it's up to you to figure out what you want to do and how you want to, you know, roll. Like, you got the option to, man, if you just wanted to farm and be a moisture farmer, like on Tatooine, bro, you could do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, that's the level of freedom and you know, open box type of game I want in a Star Wars game at some point in the future. Just the freedom to customize my own experience and have my own adventure. Like, yeah, that would be fun. That's on my bucket list of Star Wars games to get like at some point in time. But I know we gotta get
that game on Wii. It sounds like that game they have on Wii where you do like farming and stuff. I forget the name of it. Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah,
bro, that's not even me. You talking the Switch?
The Switch?
I was like,
yeah, the Switch.
I was like, yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. The only game I played on Wii was the sports junk,
the tennis and all
sport.
that.
Yeah. I was like,
the tennis would get intense. Those tennis matches, boy.
Bro, all them games. Oh, that was an intense platform.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those are type of adventures that we have to get to, and I think they have to continue to make games for everybody, which is why it's good that they can get out this exclusivity deal with EA. Not only because, you know, we have mixed feelings about EA. I'm not a fan of EA as a company. Just in general, like I've heard a lot of bad things about working there. And how they treat their employees and the type of work environment it is, and
that's about every game company though.
But they've got a rep like that is even for the gaming environment, like in working for a game company, like it's like it was like one of the top 5 worst companies to work for like a 10 or 12 year streak. Like, it was that bad. Yeah. So like, you know, and then the quality of the games that they've been putting out is not like been anything spectacular. Like in the early 2000s, EA was that company, but over the years they've kind of sort of
in late 90s too. EA Sports.
Yeah, late 90s to early 2000s. They had a good, I think, 15 years at least.
Yeah, that Madden run, I mean, of theirs is like that's in game
Madden.
history. I don't know about like how revolutionary Madden's been. I know back in the early 2000s, like Madden was like everybody was like, let's play Madden, let's play Madden, let's play Madden. I know
Yeah.
it kind of died at because I don't know if
Same,
they still
same
even do
thing
the
with
Madden.
NBA
Yeah.
Live and
NBA Live and
Madden.
Madden.
Mhm.
Now
Need
it's
for
2K.
Speed.
Oh, 2K series, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, 2K is
I like-
falling off too. 2K,
Well,
2K is has issues.
They had that
Over
NFL
the past
2K series, and then that one, like Madden, gobbled
Oh
that up.
no, that yeah, but that was college, right?
Yeah. Oh, was that college? Might have been college.
Yeah, I think they had I think 2K had
Two-
NCAA.
On Dreamcast, I remember they had it for
2K.
Dreamcast.
2K was just NFL. College was always NCAA.
NCAA, but who made that? Did EA make that? NCAA?
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that's another game, and that was a good game. Like, and like the football and basketball. I remember the basketball joint. Like that was the first time like they had like the crowd like was the 6 man, and like you went on a streak, and like the crowd would start going crazy, and like the camera would start shaking, and like if you were the away team, like it would be really hard to play in that environment. Like if the home team went on a run, because like you had like the Cameron crazies, like the audience and all that. Like that was one of the first games that kind of did that. That joint was wild, but
Do they still do the Madden tournament still?
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Those are every year religiously.
Madden isn't really suffering. Madden, they
Madden's
dumped a
online
lot of.
community is solid. Like they're consistent every year. The community.
Yeah,
They've got
Yeah.
a dedicated.
Speaking of sports, what's the Star Wars sport? You know what I mean? What's the sport inside?
Pod racing.
Well, other than pod racing, what's another like?
What do you call that thing where you dress up as like costumes and you enact
Acting.
battles or something? They got a name for it. It's not cosplay. It's like the next level up from cosplay.
Role playing?
I was about to say, like what? Like actually acting? Like what?
It's not role playing, but like they get in the character and they just fight each other. Like with like say medieval stuff.
But I mean, within the Star Wars universe, what other
They do that with lightsabers.
I mean, but is that in the actual Star
No,
I'm
Wars?
totally making that up. I don't know if they do it with lightsabers, but I feel like they would. Why
Well,
not?
are you talking like the
There's a name for it.
the sparring?
Hold on. Let me see.
Because I know that there's a couple schools like in France that like actually train people in the different forms of lightsaber combat, and they spar, and like they have like actual real life tournaments with this. Like you can go on YouTube and see like this stuff. Like there's a couple like places in Europe that have these schools to teach you how to
LARP. That's what it's called, Dan. Thank you. Live action role play, I think. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm sure there's some Star Wars themed LARPers out there. It's got to be.
Yeah,
There's no way there's not. Yeah.
Like the 501st.
Well, there you go. Live action role play. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
like, yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, like the 501st, they got headquarters all over the United States, and I think they're international as well. Where you go and list, and like you have to, they show you how to make your clone armor from scratch. And if you ever go to Star Wars Celebration, like you can definitely see all these communities. But the 501st is like they used the 501st in season 1 of The Mandalorian because they ran out of stormtroopers, and so like Dave,
that's a big
Dave
shout out to
Filoni,
him for being.
Yeah, like Dave Filoni called because they were short extras, and they realized like they didn't have enough people to fill the scene to make it feel like it was a full on platoon. Like this, the final 2 episodes in season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they didn't have the budget to get more to order, like hire more extras and get more armor made for the extras. So Dave called the 501st out in LA, their office, and said, look, we need X amount of people with stormtrooper armor. Can y'all make it out to this location? They were like, yeah. So they sent the people, and like, so the most most of the people that you see in Stormtrooper armor is actually 501st LARP group out in LA.
Yeah, shout out to the 501st. That the level of organization.
Yeah, the fact that they were ready,
That's
on a
impressive.
moment's call. You know what I mean?
yeah, they were like, we got this many. How many you need? Yeah, no problem. They'll be there.
Yeah,
And you know,
Yeah.
people are willing too. They're like, oh yeah, I get to be in Star Wars. I get to be in Mandalorian. Come on. You know.
No, they didn't. They just said they thought it was like for like an event going on in LA. Like they didn't know it was actually for the Mandalorian. They didn't know it was for a show or movie. They just thought they were showing up to like a fundraiser or something because they use them all the time for like stuff like that. Any type of event that they have, like any of the red carpet stuff that they do, like the premieres for the Force Awakens and like the Secret Trilogy, all those stormtroopers that you see out there on the red carpet, 501st.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They got like fundraisers for charities.
Yeah.
So like they'll have them come out in full costume and they role play. So and they do their own stuff too. Like they're a very active community. Cool people. So stuff like that.
We should try to get the leader on Starlight Beacon one day.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be dope. I think they're they're based in San Francisco. I think I might be wrong.
Rich, you closer in proximity, man. Reach out, pull them contacts, man.
Hey, they're usually very like responsive and open to coming and doing stuff, like especially for fans. Like I don't think that's out of the question.
Yeah, building those costumes are super impressive. I've got a coworker who does stuff like that. He made a full Thanos suit, top to bottom, fully functional, the gauntlet and all lights up.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and he showed like the process stuff. I don't know what I do not think this was 3D printed. I think he just handcrafted all these pieces. He also dressed up as the Predator, fully fleshed out.
That's awesome. Yeah, man, like that level of commitment is crazy. I respect it though. It's like because they go the extra mile to make these costumes, especially for like Comic-Con for cosplaying and I mean they use them for other things, but like those are the big publicized events where you see all of this in action.
It's impressive to see 8 foot tall Thanos just staring down at you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to this. Let's bring this full circle to the Old Republic video game. Wrap up this conversation. Got about let's do 12 more minutes. Let's do a full hour. Appreciate everybody for coming out and watching. This was last minute type of thing. I know I put the announcement out late and I postponed because we were going to do it Monday, but just timing didn't work out. So this is a better day. But yeah, man, I was missing. I was like, I've been wanting to talk Star Wars because like the Old Republic stuff, like definitely that's my favorite era in Star Wars. Still the Old Republic,
okay,
the Jedi and the Sith and like all the mythology of the Jedi and the Sith and the origin of the conflict between these two factions and like just the spiritual journey of Star Wars and like the battle of light and dark just manifesting itself within these two factions is fascinating. Characters from the Old Republic that we would like to see. We would like to see all the characters return from the game. I know I would.
Man, I've got to.
Bell. If this is Old Republic, even the new High Republic stuff. Dude, give me Bell. Give me Bell back in. I don't know how his character is going to end up through this series, but if he's left standing, they end up making a
Are you talking the Blade?
Bell, the Black Jedi.
Oh, Bell? Oh no, he wouldn't be alive during this time period. This is the Old Republic.
We're talking Old Republic.
Old Republic.
I thought we were saying if the new game was going to be High Republic, like
Which,
you know,
which
No, it's going to be a KOTOR. They said KOTOR, so that means it's going to be Old Republic. So it's going to be before the High Republic. But
So
I
you-
do want to see some High Republic video games.
which characters were in KOTOR again? Because I'm blanking out.
Revan?
Um,
Bastila, whatever, Bastila.
yeah,
Like, 'cause
Revan was he's the main
that was
antagonist.
the villain, yeah, Revan and Malik. But like the other, like the protagonists, like you created a player or something, right? It wasn't.
Who was
like,
Revan?
You
who
are
ended up-
Revan. Spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler. Sorry. Yeah, you remember your character ended up being Revan, but you had amnesia when Bastila came aboard the ship. Then you know
Oh yeah,
you could turn Bastila to the dark side and all this other stuff, and you know.
yeah.
Yeah, like that's the game. Like you're playing as Revan.
Yeah.
But the console, like Bastila captures Revan alive,
Mhm.
and the council wipes his memory and severs his connection from the Force and forces him to relearn everything from the basically relearn how to be a Jedi. And then over the course of the story, it is revealed to you that you are actually Revan and Malik is your apprentice and all these things. And then you have the choice to either continue down the path of light or go back to being Darth Revan.
Which I always chose Darth.
Yeah, I never did the dark side playthrough. But yeah, so from a story standpoint, I don't want the redemption arc for Revan. I think that for continuity, having Anakin be the first and only Jedi to fall to the dark side completely and then come back to the light and to be redeemed is that should be the standard. I think before that, I don't think anyone should have that redemption story.
Yeah. Give
To
Anakin
give it
those exclusivity rights.
Yeah, give it
This is
because he's the
my
chosen
art.
one. Yeah, he's the chosen one. So like, let's not devalue his.
Get your own art.
Yeah, like that. I think that adds so much more value to his redemption story if he is the only one to do so.
Yeah, makes it that much.
Or at least the first one.
special.
Let's say the first one. Because then, if you don't, then I've always questioned why. Why was the council so adamant about, once you start down the dark path, forever to consume your destiny? Like, if that's the case, then, if there are other examples of Jedi falling to the dark side, becoming Sith, and then returning to the light, then why were they so adamant about Anakin and his fate being sealed? And it is a plot hole that it's unnecessary if they just don't have it happen and let Anakin be the first one to do it.
All those Skywalkers can be redeemed.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
and that's what I'm saying. Like Anakin Skywalker being the first Jedi to fall to the dark side, come with the Lord, walk that path, and then come back to the light.
Yeah.
Like having him be the first person to do that, yeah, that adds way more value to the Skywalker legacy, in my opinion.
And I don't think that Ben he didn't fully go to the dark side. I feel like,
I don't think he was ever committed. I do. So that's one of the
Ben?
aspects of
Hold
the
up.
sequel.
What is Ben? What is this?
and Solo the
I don't know.
the series,
I don't know.
the sequel series,
I don't know. What? Oh, what are you talking about? The sequels.
That's an aspect of it that I would like. I did like that about the sequels. I just feel like it wasn't as developed as it should have been, but
Straight trash.
Ben choosing to go to the dark side, but have that being drawn to the light, and Rey choosing the light side but being drawn to the dark. I like that element
Idea.
of the story.
Yeah.
Like that was a really compelling thing with their arcs. Like you got one, and then it would have made, with right amount of time and planning, and if they would have really developed that and explored that, that would have been a really amazing thing, because you have all of these balances and counterbalances and people in just like in KOTOR that kind of influence which way that your alignment swings, and like having that conflict, having those people there around you that kind of sort of can bring you back, like that would have been a great thing for Finn, like Finn being Ray's anchor in the light, like in him being the one that is always kind of like keeping her from going full dark side. That would have been a cool thing. That would have had strengthened their bond between the two of them. And then Kylo having Snoke, if they didn't kill Snoke, Snoke being the one that's always pulling him back to dark, always manipulating him to see things his way. That would have been an interesting thing too. But I don't know. Maybe in another story, in another format, we can get some of these ideas.
In a parallel universe, that movie exists.
Yeah.
But here
there is no living descendant now in the current canon. There's no living descendant of Skywalker anymore.
Yeah, the Skywalker.
Yeah, they killed him off. They had to cut ties with the maker of Star Wars.
I just feel like
George Lucas, they was like, nah, we can't keep paying you, bro. We gotta cut you out. Scott Skywalker, we done.
What?
All new characters.
That doesn't make sense though. He's on the board. He's a majority shareholder
of Disney.
Yeah, that's part of the deal. That's part of the. They paid him $4 billion and then gave him a bunch of shares.
A majority share.
Yeah, he's one of the majority shareholders of Disney.
Yeah, they paid him. So they paid him $4 billion, but I think $2 billion of that was in shares.
I gotta look this up.
I think it was like something crazy like that. It was like
half of
it was cash, the other half was in.
Now he's making money off of Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars. Like, no, he's.
Yeah, they definitely gave him stock options. That wasn't that he ain't completely just sell out. He definitely got stock.
He got paid, but is he? Let's see.
He definitely got stock in there. He definitely owns.
So he had a 2% stake in Disney. That makes sense.
Okay.
Not a majority. If he would majority, he would be making decisions.
But 2%, that's still something.
Yeah, that's still a lot.
And he filed to sell that off, to sell his stake. So 2%, yeah, we'll pay you. Get rid of Skywalker.
Yeah, get rid of Skywalker. I would have just loved to see Ben's character and some other things afterwards, just this like, animated, like redemption, like new adventures of, Ray, Ben, like just doing things like starting a new council, but whatever. It is.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably still get that at some point. I think they just need to continue doing what they're doing because they're creating the lore around the story, and like I think from the Mandalorian, it will create possibilities for the future beyond the sequel trilogy.
Yeah. I still need to go back and watch. I still haven't even finished. What is it? Rebels.
Yeah,
I need to get back on it.
Yeah, I'm on season 2. So far, so good. So far, so good.
Because I got to be ready for the Ahsoka show.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to follow along with the Ahsoka show if you don't finish watching Rebels, because a lot of it's basically a sequel to Rebels. So that's very important because
it's only 4 seasons in Rebels.
A lot happens in these 4 seasons, especially setting up what happens in this show.
It's like 20 plus episodes in each season.
Well, Rebels also sets up Thrawn for the canon, the new Disney canon, and he's going to play a major role within the Ahsoka series as well.
He'll be the main antagonist,
possibly.
Anti-hero.
Possibly.
antagonist turned anti-hero.
It's possible. I think the heroes will see him as the villain, but I don't think he will be the villain in the story. Based on the novels and really the novels, he probably won't be the villain for long. I think he'll be a neutral. My prediction is going to be a neutral force eventually. Like I think, I can't spoil the story, but yeah, y'all have to finish Rebels before I get into my predictions as to what I think is going to happen with Thrawn and Ahsoka and in that show. And because I can't even, yeah, that's all. That's all I can say because it's huge. There's a lot of things that happen in Rebels that will be explored in this Ahsoka show. Honestly, Rebels sets up the Ahsoka show, and so then, which is why I'm saying like I can't say anything. I can't even give you any. If I were to say any of my predictions, it's going to spoil a lot of stuff for the show for you guys, and I need y'all to experience that.
Well, we just need to do an episode of Rebels once we all finish. Well, me and JB finish it, and then
Yeah, we can definitely talk Rebels. I'd love to talk Rebels. Like,
yeah, we can do that.
I've been on this Attack on Titan thing. I just been and
Did you flow through season 2 yet?
I'm on episode 5 because I had to take in some of that stuff that was just going on those first 5 episodes, and I was like, "What is going on?" These, I mean, talking. I mean, sorry for anybody who had watched Attack on Titan.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
All right, but that's
no spoilers. Wait, let me get to the comments because I've been neglecting comments. My mom is in the chat. What's up? OG Coop, that Yoda. Checking in. Yes. So if I was away, my uncle passed this weekend. This is why I've been out. His funeral was on Sunday. Was that Sunday? Monday. So that was the reason for my absence. So there is that, but we're back in the swing of things. Wonderful service, wonderful time, helping my aunt and cousin and everybody in the family deal with that. So that was good. It's good to see everybody. Very good service, despite COVID. It would have been nice to have the full, have everyone come that wanted to come and have a nice dedication, which I'm pretty sure we'll do at some point in the future.
The celebration of life.
Yeah, definitely got to do it big for Big John, Uncle John. So there is that, and back to Star Wars stuff. Callisto just got home, but it was awesome. Star Wars talk show. Thank you for keeping it alive. Coop in the middle of Marvel hype. Exactly. You know what? We can't. Marvel is trying to become what Star Wars is in pop culture. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but nah.
It's so much stuff with Marvel though. That's the thing though. Marvel's been around for so long that it's so hard for people to really get into that unless you're just gonna go back and read thousands of issues of, you don't have to read all of them. But it's just so much. But see, and people grew up with Star Wars, and that's why it's so much easier because there's content out there, but there's not this,
Well, Star Wars really hit pop culture first, like comic books and Marvels and DC, and that's a niche that has over time has become a pop culture thing thanks to really the MCU and what
technology
and Kevin Feige has been able to do. I mean, Blade, those forerunners programs that brought superhero movie into pop culture, and Batman, of course.
Nice, baby.
All the different iterations of Batman that we've gotten over the years has just gradually gotten comic book characters and heroes into pop culture. They've been relevant within nerd culture for forever, and within nerd culture is as popular as Star Wars. But in pop culture, like Star Wars came in on the pop culture scene. Like it's a pop culture phenomenon. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the likes of which very few franchises have been able to achieve in such short period of time and sustain for the over 40 years it has done so. Like a lot of people probably saw Star Wars before they saw or read a comic book. You know what I'm saying? Like that's wild to think about, but it's I don't have stats and numbers to back that up, but I would bet that if you asked, most people have what did they see first? Like, did they watch Star Wars or read a comic book first? I think most people will have said, you know, they saw Star Wars before they read a comic book. But
yeah, that's the power of Hollywood right there.
Exactly. And that's really the only difference. Like it emerged from Hollywood versus, you know, going through the paces to yeah. So, you know, that's really what it is. But man, Marvel is killing it. Like I can't even and I love seeing what they're creating, and you know, hope they continue the success. We got episode 4 of WandaVision coming out on Friday, so we'll have another review show. I gotta watch the last Friday review because I hadn't seen that yet. I did watch the episode though, thoroughly enjoyed it.
That's interesting.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. So there's but you know, my expectation for the show is probably exceeding my enjoyment of it as well. My anticipation of what's going to happen. But yeah, so I'll check out the episode and I'll be back on Friday with the crew to talk about episode 4. The cookout will also be back on Saturday, as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what our topics will be just yet, but we should have those. What is today? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll let everybody know what it is. Did we have a community discussion last Saturday, or a topic or are we picking up the DC stuff from?
No, yeah. Last Saturday we had the DC discussions. We talked about which character you would want to see on the big screen, and we talked about which final I always get this group name, Fantastic Four. Yeah, who you want to see cast for Fantastic Four? I always call them the final four.
Fantastic Four. Oh man, gotta shout out Monty too.
Yeah. But we spent a lot of time talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah. We went deep into TMNT. Yeah, Lou took us down. Turtle World.
He took you down that rabbit hole of the turtles.
Yeah.
Which is like that comic was pretty cool. I started reading the first issue.
Yeah.
Of that whole series, IDW. I want to say this.
Where. So we'll talk to Amani about what the community topic will be as well. We'll put that out for everybody. Unless y'all did that. Did y'all talk about that? Maybe jump the gun.
We did.
Okay, so we didn't set it up. Cool.
I'd like to see people's choice for their votes on these new X-Men for the poll that's happening.
Yeah, I need to take that poll, as a matter of fact, because I dropped that into the Discord. Speaking of the Discord,
yeah.
If you aren't a member of the Discord, man, what you doing? What you waiting for?
Join that Gumbo Discord.
You know what I'm saying? You know you like us. You know you want to talk to us more often than on these streams.
We don't spam you. We don't spam you. You know
what I'm saying? You don't even have to have the notifications on. We don't ask for none of that. We just say, hey, listen.
Keep your notifications on though. Don't be disrespectful.
Don't. You know what I'm saying? We don't enforce notifications. That's all
I'm kidding.
That's all I'm saying. But there's a link to the Discord. I just dropped that in there for you all to join. Please join us. Love to have you in there.
Yep.
P. Rich, you want to do the announcement today, or you want to wait till Saturday?
I think we'll wait till Saturday because I want to talk to you about some
some options, possibilities. All right, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. So yeah, we got some things in the work for you all. You will hear very soon about that, and looking forward to what that will be and revealing that to the public.
Did we shout out the social media, the IG?
We have not. Go ahead,
Twitter?
Sir.
Yeah, follow us at Certified Gumbo, IG, Twitter, Facebook.
Yep, and also Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch as well.
I gotta add that icon to the little thing down here in the corner.
Much love to you too, Kalisto.
Yes, thank you, Kalisto. Always appreciate it. And everyone that joins and watches these shows every week, we appreciate you very much, man. Can't say that enough. And we've got some looking forward to continuing doing these shows, and we got some big things planned throughout the year. It's early in the year, but we've got a lot of ideas, a lot of new show concepts and things that we're talking about and discussing.
Yeah, we got stuff in the pot.
Yeah, we've been cooking, man. We've been in the kitchen, guys. We've been in the kitchen, guys and gals.
We're doing some giveaways too. So
yeah. We got probably some merchandise coming soon too. So don't you know what I'm saying? Hey, listen,
try to get back to y'all.
You know, we're trying. We're doing a lot of things in the background.
We are trying.
We are trying. P. Richard, any announcements? Anything you want to talk about? Save the Airwaves.
Shout out Save the Airwaves, man.
Save the Airwaves. We're gearing up to film Torto de Oro and have a bunch of meetings this week, and we are going to be shooting that at the beginning of March. And then
I don't think we ever explain what Torto de Oro is. What is that?
We'll talk about it on the cookout. That's a cookout show. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
All right, I can dig that.
Hey, we can do another long. What we do? Yeah, our community for community.
Yeah, we need to talk Tolkien.
Hey, listen,
we need to go to Middle Earth, man.
Kalisto, trust me when I say that's definitely going to happen once we get that that Amazon Lord of the Rings show. Best believe we're going to be talking about that, because my number 2 behind Star Wars is definitely Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Legolas.
It might end up being a Monday Middle Earth show.
Yeah,
Middle Earth Mondays. I kind of dig that. Hey, man,
it's from the mind of the Gumbo.
Exactly. Plevo.
All right.
Exactly. So yeah. That's definitely something that we're gonna do, because I love Lord of the Rings. We got a number of Lord of the Rings fans within the Discord, actually. That once this show drops, you'll see you'll see the
people on the show.
Yeah. I've got the prequel book on Audible, so as soon as I finish this one book I got,
I do have a confession. I did fall asleep during the first Hobbit movie, but to my defense,
the first one,
but to my defense though, that was back when they were still doing midnight releases, and I had
okay, that's still different. You're a working man. That's still different.
Yeah. I mean, I fell asleep at a midnight release, but it wasn't Middle Earth. It was this might be worse than that. It was the Dark Knight. 1 a.m. release.
Oh, that's tough.
I think you were with us. Were you with us, P. Rich?
No, man, I was in Afghanistan when
oh man, fighting for us. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, for real though. Hey,
and I was over there sleeping in the theater. You over there in Afghanistan. Oh man,
over here defending the Constitution. This man was sleeping in the theater, boy. The juxtaposition of life, I tell you.
We actually got this. Somebody got the streamer copy of it. So when we were over there in Afghanistan, we actually had it had licensed by WB at the bottom of it when you're watching it, and it was in like full HD.
Oh, they got the press. They got the press.
Yeah. I remember that. Wow. I remember that bootleg copy.
We got the press copy over there. So I don't know how they got their hands on it, but it was a good copy.
All over the streets.
I just remember I watched Iron Man over there in Afghanistan, and it's funny because the first movie takes place in like Afghanistan. Yeah. And so I remember watching the first movie, but it was the cell phone footage, you know, and so I was watching like the Iron Man cell phone footage, like when I was in Afghanistan. It was funny.
Yep.
It's good though. Yeah, man. Well,
any closing remarks, JBM?
Have a good night, y'all. Be well. Catch you on Friday or Saturday. Definitely Saturday for me. Friday maybe.
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna we'll see.
Yeah, see what the Gemini
See
tell
how
me.
it, yeah, I was about to say the plight of the Gemini.
Yeah.
We shall see. We shall see. But yes, thank you all once again for joining us tonight. Been a wonderful stream. Was looking forward to having this conversation. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great. Thank you both for joining the show tonight. Last minute impromptu, but we made it work. Had some technical difficulties up top, but
Yeah.
the
Y'all
So I
like
had
the
to-
little lighting setup
the-
I got? I had a
I had the-
warm. I went for a warm filter here.
yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Different take.
I had to bust out the old headphones because the other ones weren't connecting.
And I always say peace, love, blessings, and may the force be with you always.